think that's good. How was that? Have you ever seen? Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but I was gonna say, have you ever seen Ticked Off Trannies with Knives? Oh my God, it's Ticked Off Trannies with Knives. It's about a group of guys who basically one of them is getting with a transgendered woman and then gets really abusive, and they go after him. It's kind of a violent take, but I really enjoyed it. It was made about 12 years ago. I think like 2011 was when it came out. One of my favorites. It's a hard watch though. It is a hard watch, but it's redeeming. Yeah. So it deals with abuse. Okay, I'm just gonna wrap this up here. It's done. Bounce it out, and we can begin. Just do the little circle filling. That's great. All right, let me make sure I have all my notes here. Hold on to this. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, well, I guess I'll start with introductions. So, my name is Holland. I go by Mars also. He, him, they, them. If you're talking to me on the phone, you might think I'm she, her, and I'm not going to correct you because that makes me feel powerful if you think I'm a woman while we're on the phone. So, it's how I roll. And I live in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I just graduated from Western Michigan University with my BA in University Studies. I was a multimedia arts and technology student, which I had to audition into, and I was really sad I had to drop it because I ran out of financial aid suddenly. Yay, American education financial aid system. But I got my bachelor's. That's the silver lining, I think. And what else about me? My mom was in the military. She was in the Air Force. So I'm a military brat, I guess, for what it's worth. And I'm sweet and sassy. Just depends on when you catch me, But yeah, this is Perfect Pancakes, digital subversive media production. Is this done? Yeah, I think it's done. And I thought it was interesting because, I made this thing called Perfect Pancakes in May, and it was kind of like a thing. Do I sound all right? Do I sound like really? Okay, cool. I made this pilot show, and I knew it probably wouldn't go anywhere because everything is shutting down, and Hollywood's shutting down, and everything is shutting down right now in this country. But it was kind of just I can't find a job after getting a degree, and my grandma's literally paying for me to not stay homeless right now. So I decided to spend a month just doing a full production piece. It's basically a fake daytime talk show. Well, it's framed as a daytime talk show, variety show, but it's basically subversive. It's me talking shit about Kristi Noem and few other things. Oh, yeah, this is my yearbook from 2005 because I'm old. I'm old as fuck. But let me grab my notes. Because I'll read through my notes because if I don't, I'll forget because I'm ADHD. So let me start with guess we'll have a quick intro to something we're all quite familiar with at this point, but I figure I might as well touch all the bases. That works. Okay, cool. Fascism, how it begins and its symptoms and what it looks like. So as we know it right now, fascism is something that begins in a democratic society. This is one of the first, third, fourth, fifth time that a major fascist event is happening, and it gets voted in democratically. It happened in Germany, it's happening here. Yeah. And I kind of wanted to make this sort of fun, but as I was doing it, I was like, this is really fucking depressing. This is really forcing me to not only accept everything that I've already accepted, but to like radically accept kind of what's going on, that like, you know, people are being shoved away into like death camps basically to slowly die. And it's makes me cry every day at this point. But, you know, with the myth, where did it go? There we go. So with the mythical past, I mean, we're all kind of like familiar with this because it gets shoved in our faces every day and down our ears. We were once a great nation, blah, blah, blah. In Germany, they had a book about that, basically. That, Aufbruch der Nation, basically means, I didn't write it. Oh, yeah, awakening of the nation, Nazis. And they blame and reclaim powers from minority groups. Propaganda. So propaganda is all about establishing a friend-enemy dichotomy amongst society, and it identifies the other, who is the enemy. Anti-intellectualism. So the party leader determines the truth and what is a lie. Authority cannot be challenged. Science is the enemy. Can't question it. Have to believe it. Unreality. Lie to the people. Cut access to the truth. Do not critique those in power. And then there's a hierarchy. It is mandatory for this to work, unfortunately. And it involves the big lie. The exact same thing that Hitler did is what Trump is doing. And basically the hierarchy is race, gender, religion hierarchies. And it always puts like white, straight Christian men at the top every single time. And then we move on to victimhood. Who's the victim? The white straight men who are Christians. They're the victims. They get told that. That's the most important and powerful part of fascism, is telling the people at the top of the hierarchy that they are the victims of equality. And that if equality wasn't there, they would have everything they want, and to blame everything on minority groups once more. And basically, you know, some common examples from World War II: German Christians versus German Jews, or here in America, white Americans versus black or brown Americans, or anywhere, men versus women. Am I going? Yeah. Law and order. There's no law and order in fascism. There's no justice. Gaslighting is the law, basically. Basically, like the biggest gaslight, one of the biggest, I would say the second to largest gaslight of fascism, and we'll get to the biggest one in a minute, but the second largest one I would say is trying to force minority groups to believe that they deserve state-sanctioned punishment. Like Kristi Noem, fuck that bitch, I hate her so much. Sexual anxiety, another key topic of fascism. Women and children are always under threat from trans and gay people. And you know what? Let's throw on teachers and nurses and librarians too. And a big part of the sexual anxiety too is convincing non-fascists that they need fascism for safety, for their families, for their sexual whatever. You know, that's where incels come from, basically. In the last 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, fuck QAnon, fuck incels. Sodom and Gomorrah, bringing in biblical themes. Cities suck. Country people are cool, though. So this is the biggest gaslight. Work shall make you free. These words were posted on the gates of Auschwitz. And that's the biggest gaslight of fascism. Yeah, basically any minority group is considered life unworthy of life. That's like one of their primary goals of making us believe. So that's a little bit on fascism. I'm sure we all knew that, but that's what kind of makes us need to be subversive. And subversion it's one of our only weapons. And I have some unfortunate statistics I'm just going to throw in here. I didn't get to writing these ones accurately, so they're all over the place still. But you know what? Subversives rarely win. Their legacy is eternal, and their legacy is what wins, but they themselves do not win. So I wanted to get this on like a video so I wouldn't like have trouble saying this all because it's like really hard. But so Alan Turing is one example. He is the individual that cracked the Wehrmacht code of the Germans, the Nazis. He was a British agent. He was gay. After the war, he was shamed to the point that he killed himself. This next one's really hard. Nix Benedict, a 13-year-old gender-neutral individual who was murdered by 3 of their classmates at their school in Oklahoma in 2023. Their mom took them to the ER. The ER refused Nix any cares. Nix went home with their mom and died. And the official report from the state of Oklahoma was that Nix killed themselves. They committed suicide, and all 3 of the girls who basically killed Nix got away free and are protected. Moving on, Kesha, she's still alive. She's like the only one, but she's very much a subversive individual, and I appreciate her. Joan of Arc, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, Antifa, the LGBTQIA+ community, Black Lives Matter, Me Too, progressive socialism, feminism, democracy, equality, equity, diversity, inclusion, environmental justice, Palestine. Everything right now is subversive, just by its own existence. Oh, thank you. So, shit's crazy a little bit, but, bringing it back to art, I like to, look at art a lot. So I have this little film slide here talking about subversive film stuff. So subversive cinema, we'll start with French Impressionism. So French Impressionism, it's all about creating experiences that appeal to audiences' emotions. It's all about the suggestion, little about the plot. It's film as an experimental art form. I would say like the French were really great at taking film to a lot of different levels back before World War I. There was just a lot of really cool stuff going on back then, about 110 years ago. Very vibes and aesthetics heavy. And all about the emotional depth. So we have Un Chien d'Andalou, and I don't know if anyone's an On Cinema at the Cinema fan, but I went ahead and just gave all of the VFA ratings ahead of time. We have Ballet Mécanique, and we have Breathless, which is about this girl here and this guy who get together and he just like murdered someone. She's like, oh, that's kind of hot, but then she leaves and he gets arrested, so it's kind of fun. German Expressionism, so very strange, very dark. It explores psychological depths, whereas French Impressionism explored emotional depths. It was called a cinema of attractions. It was basically spectacles for entertainment, like looking weird for the sense of being weird and see how dark we can go with it. Got a few examples here. Nosferatu, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and Metropolis. Okay, here's the thing. So we got our boy Kirby here. He's going to show us a few things. I don't know what Kirby did to the filmmakers and the film community, but they have beef with Kirby. You'll see in a minute. But we go into the Weimar period in Germany. That's the time between World War I and World War II. Lots of similarities to what we're experiencing right now in the United States. There was hyperinflation, economic freefall, political extremism, violence, and a fully nationalized film industry called UFA. Check this out. All the film departments are now UFA. That's what Kirby does. So yeah, Germany in that interwar period was the only country that was able to compete with the American Hollywood system, the studio system back then, and I'll get to that in a second, but it was because Germany nationalized their entire film industry that they were able to compete with Hollywood for a little while before the Nazi regime took over. Good old fascism. And now we're at Soviet montage. So, Soviet montage, and I'm just kind of like going through like 3 or 4 different schools of classic film that have a lot of like subversive elements to them. Maybe Soviet montage would be the most subversive. I don't know. I think it's like a toss-up between French Impressionism and Soviet montage. But Soviet montage was all about the ability to change minds and hearts with film. The Soviets saw film as a very useful tool to change social and political, like, what did I say here? I'm going ahead of myself. Well, anyways, yeah, powerful tool for social and political influence. They saw how important it was, film, as this new medium. And the thing that Soviet montage, or the school of Soviet montage, was really great with was editing. And the reason they were so good at editing was because there was no film stock in the Soviet Union when Russia became the Soviet Union. They had very little. They basically just had like already recorded film stock that was sent to them, and what a few folks did was they started the first film school in the world, and they just started taking apart and analyzing the film that they had available to them. They analyzed every edit, why it was used, how long it was used, how long they kept a shot at a certain place, why they had the shot as like a medium shot or a wide shot or whatnot. They analyzed everything you can possibly analyze with film, to the point that they started putting together their own films based on what they had available, and that's why we call it montage. They originally were montaging just random stuff together and creating meaning through those random juxtapositions. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I think we got it all. Some examples. Battleship Potemkin, which is a kind of recreation of, what was it called? The Imperial White Army, I think they were. It was Nicholas Tsar II's army. He was basically going through and like just murdering Russian citizens left and right. Actually, that's why I'm here in America, because my family escaped that shit back in 1910. Woo! But yeah, so this is basically about that. A lot of people getting murdered, and the Russian, I think it was the Red Army, who overrode the White Army in 1906 it was, and that started, I think, the first revolution. Man with a movie camera. This was kind of just a fun one, but it was all about the edit. It was all about editing and juxtaposing all sorts of weird stuff together. It was very artful and very useful at the same time. And here we go again. Kirby went and took all of the Russian film assets and made them one vertical down government industry. And then we go on to the US studio system, Chaplin Corps to Hays Corps, or as I also call it, the Hays Code. So Hollywood was enormously funded. It always has been. Basically a monopoly. Hollywood studios, I think it was like 4 or 5 back in the day, they had monopolies on everything. They had monopolies on their writers, they had monopolies on their directors, their actors. Their actors could not act in any other movies outside of their own studios. Literally no one could do anything outside of their studios. They would just get canned, and it was very controlling back then. And also no one really used their real names. Everybody's name was like chosen for them. And Hollywood was considered, at some point in the 20s, to be too scandalous. There's just too much drugs and sex going on, you guys, and we have to do something about that as the government, right? So the Hays Code was started, I think it was 1933. It was kind of like a response to, what was the weed movie back in 1927? I can't remember what it's called. Reefer Madness. That movie came out, everyone started freaking out, like, oh my God, we can't have weed and sex and blah, blah, blah in our movies. So the Hays Code was invented. It is self-censorship. Film is immoral or is considered immoral by American government and needs government control. If vice, then virtue. So here we have Charlie Chaplin as the great dictator. He was basically doing a ripoff of Hitler, and he was blacklisted for being socialist. Kind of subversive. Psycho. Blazing Saddles, one of the first, oh, that was fast. That was one of the first movies that was released after the Hays Code was ended. I believe in 1970 was when the Hays Code was ended, or 69. And then I want to give some honorable mentions. I didn't throw them in here, but two specific movies that were really affected by the Hays Code. One of them is called The Children's Hour. It starred, what is her name? You know, I'll remember at 3 a.m. She was a really famous actress back then, but she played the role of a woman who was teaching at a private girls' school, and there was another teacher there who happened to be either bi-curious, bisexual, or lesbian, who eventually got a crush on the new teacher. And they have kind of like, you know, it's like a very honest portrayal of like women falling in love. But in the end, because it's the Hays Code, we have to show that, you know, that sort of stuff is immoral, and the woman who was already the teacher there to begin with kills herself in the end. And that is a thing that happens in every single film with the lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual character. They kill themselves. The only ones who don't are the bisexuals. Bisexuals were always coded as being undead and overly sexualized. And I believe that's kind of still something that's going on to this day in stereotyping bisexual people in movies. But, where are we? Yes, Audrey Hepburn, that's one. Yep, dude, such a good movie. Such a good movie. Good crier, if you need a good cry movie. And then another one, oh yeah, Charlie. I think that was made right around the time that the Hays Code ended, but it's based on the novel Flowers for Algernon. It's a sad one. I really like it, but it's a film about a man who, he's basically like borderline retarded, mentally retarded, and he is put in a study where he is basically taking the same drug that a lab rat is taking. It makes them both really smart. Charlie becomes really smart. He falls in love with one of the women that's doing research with him. And then the rat dies, Algernon, and then he kind of just, the meds stop working, and he goes back to his original self. He forgets about the fact that he was in love, and it's such a sad ending. It's a good movie. And oh, what's this? It's Kirby. It's American Kirby. This is what's happening right now, guys. This is like literally what's happening. CBS, Universal, Paramount, Comedy Central, they're all bending the knee to Trump. And that's the end of that one. So what do we have next? We're done with that page. Cool. And I did a really quick thing on music. This is what I was working on when everyone was walking in. Let me get some water really quick. Hold on. So before we go into the next part, I wanted to focus a little bit on subversive music and a little bit on subversive TV and streaming before we go on to the next part. So we got the Middle Ages to the Renaissance, and I'm just kind of like taking some notes out of my notes and trying to be quick about it. But so not a whole lot of subversion happened during this era from like 400 to 1400 or whatever. There was like a couple of women, Hildegard of Bingen, I hope I'm saying that right, was basically like the only subversive individual in music way back then, 1,000 years ago or so. She was, I think she was a nun of the Catholic Church, and she knew how to write music. And this was back when we were still writing in the modes, which is ancient Greek music writing. I don't know them all right now, but it's like an incomplete way of writing scaled music. It doesn't have all of the elements of scale, but it's like almost there. And she wrote a crap ton of music for the Catholic Church, but I don't think she was ever credited because she's a woman. We can't have women making music for us, you know. How cringe. Classical era. This is fun. Okay, so we got Mozart. He's like my favorite guy in the world for music. So Mozart, he illegally copied church music from memory, and that's how he was found. That was his little come up. And he utilized dissonance and was considered too unique. He is the godfather of metal. Fight me after class. I'm going to die on this hill. I don't care. That man made the magic flute. If any of you have ever heard the magic flute, you know what I'm talking about. That is such an amazing opera. Goth metal. So yeah, there's Mozart there, my bad boy. And of course, we also have Beethoven. He's also a bad boy. A lot of people really like Beethoven. They like him more than Mozart. I guess I understand why. He's kind of like the Britney Spears versus, Mozart being like, I don't know, Pink Floyd or whatever. But Beethoven's really good too. He got really intense with his music. He was deaf, and he made the most intense music almost ever, except for Mozart. Mozart made more intense music, in my opinion. He's really great. They were both definitely bad boys that were pretty subversive, and a big part of why they were subversive was because they refused to be a part of the patriarchal system that the church forced on society in regards to music. Because making music up until like the 1700s, you had to be involved with the church. If you were not involved with the church, you weren't making music. If you were making music and you weren't involved with the church, you might get burned at the stake or something. You never know. But they broke that mold in the classical era, the 1700s. And, I want to get that out of the way. 3 specifically subversive concepts started coming into play during this era, and that's liberty, equality, and fraternity. And they didn't really have it fully figured out then, but they were like catching on, enlightenment is something we should strive for and help society strive for. And this was kind of the first time you see social mobility happen in society. This is the first time that access to theaters and music and literature and better home furnishings become available to more people. It's the first signs of the middle class, basically. Music left the private royal courts and the church, and it went for public spaces, and people became self-taught. We go into the Romantic era, the 1800s, kind of not as subversive as the classic era, but also kind of. I don't know, it's like kind of a give and take because you'll see. So a Romantic era really focuses on the emotions, experimentation, and individuality of the artist. Sounds good, right? It's also where nationalism comes from. The concept of nationalism started in the 1800s as a response to the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars. Every country in Europe started becoming nationalist. This is why Germany and Italy eventually went insane in World War II, and why we're becoming insane right now, like right before our eyes. And also that what came from it was this thing called exoticism, which, no one at the time realized how racist this was, but they were basically like, oh, look, it's some Asian music. Let's make like whitewashed Asian music and bring it to the masses in Europe. And, they did that with like African music, Asian music, like South American music, Central American music. And, it was really whitewashing, kind of embarrassing, but like that's where people, I guess, started appreciating other cultures somehow. It was very whitewashed and weird. Oh yeah, so there's Tchaikovsky, my boy. He was a gay artist, and he was funded by one of his friends. She was just a woman that had a lot of money, gave him a lot of money. He had a boyfriend. He made a lot of really great ballets and operas. Franz Schubert, he was just a very poor musician his entire life. He died poor. He made music for the poor. He lived amongst the poor. I think he died from disease, I think in his 30s, early 30s or something. And then you have Dvorak. He was actually a Czech musician and composer, but he became, it doesn't matter if he was Czech. He was in the Romantic era. What am I saying? Yeah, he's a Czech composer, and he did a lot of really good stuff too. Like if you think Beethoven's intense, like Dvorak will take you on a journey. And then we have Fanny Mendelssohn Hensel. She was a really great pianist. She was can't think of the word right now, prodigy. She was a piano prodigy, and she wrote a lot of music, but then her stupid family was like, you're a woman, you should just stay home and not do music, so she stopped making music eventually. As we do, I guess. Then we go on in the 20th century. Woo! Themes of alienation, anti-nationalism, nihilism, and dehumanization. What are we doing? So, hold on. So we have like some people that are pretty, I would say, subversive in this era. Stravinsky, he moved to America from the USSR. He was like certainly probably getting targeted by the government, and so he had to come to the United States. It was probably going to be certain death for him otherwise. And then you have John Philip Sousa. I don't know really why I added him. He's not subversive, but he's just, you know, the guy who made all the March songs, so whatever. So all American music styles, every single one that has ever become famous and popular, came from African slaves and their ancestors. Every single one. Country, folk, everything. Fight me over that too. White people were constantly insecure about the expressibility and artistic depths of black musicians during the early 1900s, that they either violently attacked them or whitewashed their works for white audiences. And just, you know, I don't know, whitewash blues and jazz does not sound that great. Turns like into bubblegum pop, kind of. It's gross. No offense if anyone likes bubblegum pop. But here in Chicago, we had electric blues happen, and this is Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters, both Chicago electric blues artists. Let's see here. So kind of going into the 60s and wrapping us up here, the British invasion happened. British invasion artists like Led Zeppelin absolutely loved black musicians. The only problem was, they didn't credit them. They didn't give them their dues. And, you know, Led Zeppelin got away with a lot of, you could say, copyright issues because white famous artists, right? Here's Neil Young. The only music style that became famous that wasn't invented by African slaves and their ancestors was grunge. That was invented by Neil Young, but you didn't know that. And then just because I'm a Michigan boy and we're talking about subversion, we got the Stooges, got MC5. And although they aren't a Michigan band, this guy, Steve Shelley, is from Kalamazoo, where I live. And they're Sonic Youth, and I love Sonic Youth. They're my favorite band in the world. And that's all I got for that one. And I wanted to share with you guys a piece of subversive music that's kind of recent. It's actually made 20 years ago, but you guys might be familiar with these individuals. Anyone ever heard of PFR before? They created a show called Wonder Shows, and that was on MTV in 2006. And then they made a show called Xavier Renegade Angel that was on Adult Swim right after. And then they made a show. Audience, what's up? Then they made a show called The Heart She Holler after that, and a few other things. But you know what? So this video, I'm going to show you. We're going to show it all. Why not? This video was made in, I believe, 2000, and it was they were just a band back then before they became this like media conglomerate, and they were incredibly subversive, and this was them at a protest. And one of their first songs they ever made.
of ours to create, and they defaced it in seconds. Imagine what they'll do to the world if we resist.
Don't resist the Borg. So that's yeah. So yeah, that's PFR. They've been a big inspiration to me for a while. I'll show you guys a few other pictures of the stuff they do. I hope I can get a job with them someday soon. I'm actually going to send them my resume and portfolio in a minute. Next week, probably. Load images. Okay, well, while we wait for that, there we go. So these are all just, it was basically like a puppet show. It was like Sesame Street on crack, and that was the whole framing of it, and it was incredibly subversive, I would say. Incredibly. Oh, God. This was a cartoon they made about a Vietnam veteran who's homeless and doesn't realize he has schizophrenia, and he's talking to 3 people that don't exist, and it's actually very sad. But they did a lot of like really interesting work with that. And then they also made, let's see if I can spell that. Maybe you'll recognize this, maybe you won't. Xavier Renegade Angel. My boy. So yeah, very subversive folks, PFR. And I guess that kind of just moves us along to subversive TV and streaming. And I want to show another thing. So The Onion, anyone a fan of The Onion? So they're a Chicago-based fake news organization. They've been doing this since the 90s, I think. And they just dropped a new video. So I was like, fuck it, we're going to watch this together. So more subversive media.
What you're seeing now is disturbing new video released today of Chicago police officers appearing to handle a situation non-violently.
Hey there, how you doing?
Body cam footage obtained exclusively by ONN captured what began as a routine traffic stop before turning into something far more shocking.
You can put your hands down, sir. Real quick, can I get your license and your registration, my friend?
Officers can be seen approaching the vehicle before issuing the driver a warning for a broken taillight, letting him go without even so much as drawing their firearms.
Sir, just do me a favor and get that fixed up as soon as possible, all right? Hey, you take care. Drive safe.
Cameron Howard, who was seen in the video not being brutalized, says he was stunned.
I just never imagined anyone would ever be treated that way by the police, especially not someone like me.
While these types of incidents make up less than half of 1% of police interactions, law enforcement officials are assuring the public they do not expect anything like this to ever happen again.
When you wear that badge, put on that uniform, there are certain standards and expectations that come with it. This is not who we are.
According to police, the officers in question have been suspended indefinitely and will now be required to attend extensive combat escalation training before they are put back on patrol. Coming up next, it's becoming an annual tradition for many. We'll have more on the record crowds pouring into Ohio's annual opioid festival.
Absurdity is your friend with subversion. I think the best way to do subversion personally is to use absurdity, turn it the fuck up to 11, keep it there or get it higher. But I don't know what else to say. Like absurdity is our weapon. Absurdity is our tool in order to fight back this absurd bullshit that's happening. It makes people laugh. We need more laughter. We need more joy. And absurdity calls attention to everything that's happening right now. And that's kind of where like my notes end, and I guess like the rest of this kind of just begins. I mean, I guess I could say a few more things before I let go of the notes. Other subversive media makers today, online or on TV, would be like Tim Heidecker, Eric Wareheim, Greg Turkington. I mentioned the On Cinema at the Cinema VFA stuff earlier. They do a lot of what I would call subversive comedy. It's supposed to be a movie show. Excuse me. It's supposed to be like a movie review show, but it's not. It's anything but. And what it is the character that Tim Heidecker plays. Basically, he's like this like really rich white boy who constantly gets himself into like really stupid trouble all the time. And he makes the whole show about all of the things that he's messing up in his life. And the other guy, Greg, wants to talk about movies, but he stays around for it all anyways. Then we got Seth MacFarlane. I guess he's pretty subversive. Family Guy and American Dad. We got South Park. That's probably about to get canceled, you guys, because Paramount and Donald Trump. We have Late Night with Stephen Colbert, which just got canceled because of Paramount and Donald Trump and CBS. We still got Seth Meyers, Jimmy Kimmel, and The Daily Show, but The Daily Show is probably going to get canceled soon because Paramount and Donald Trump. So we're all going to have left is Seth Meyers, most likely. And this is like literally stuff that's going to be happening in the next 8 months because it's already happening because Stephen Colbert already got canceled. And then I guess also let's mention Adult Swim. It has for a very long time been pretty subversive, I'd say, up until 2015, 2016, when they started really only wanting to, cater to the straight white male audience with Rick and Morty. I don't know how anyone feels about that. I fucking hate that show. I hated that show since it started. I just always got this feeling watching it as a gay guy. Like, even though I'm a white guy, I'm like gay and genderqueer, and I'm like watching this, like, this shit isn't for me. Like, I don't feel like anything in this is for me to enjoy, so I can never get into it. But with that said, we did get Aqua Teen Hunger Force, we got Black Jesus, we got Three Busy Debras, we got Mostly for Millennials, we got Moral Oral, we got The Boondocks, we got The Eric Andre Show, we got Eagleheart, we got a lot of other examples of really great subversive media on Adult Swim. Don't know really what's going on these days. I haven't really watched cable in forever, and I don't like commercials. So that's all I got on that. Okay. Am I good to turn this on? I might walk around now. Check. Yes. All right, cool. So I thought it would be kind of fun to bring the audience into this a little bit and come up with some ideas, just sort of a writer's workshop situation. So in TV and movies, but a lot in TV, this is a system that's going away, very unfortunately, thanks to AI and new technologies that are replacing actual writers and workers. But the traditional setup is let's say we're all in the writer's room right now. It's kind of similar to a writer's room. We're all sitting in chairs. We're all facing each other. And we just kind of come up with ideas. And it's I'll come up with something. Someone else has something to add on to it. We just keep writing stuff down. And eventually that's how a sketch is written. That's how everything is written, basically, is in the writing room. That's the first part. It eventually goes on to the editors, and they kind of put everything together and make it nice and clean. But I was thinking, so with my show, Perfect Pancakes, like I said earlier, I'm doing kind of subversive shit with it, and having a fake interview with AI Christy Nome, which you guys will see in a little while. I'll screen it so you guys can watch it. But one of the ideas I had during my own little writing session at home was based on the manosphere. I'm sure we're all kind of familiar with the manosphere. And they have these, I don't know if you'd call them meme videos or what you would call them, or well-intended advice videos, but it's men teaching men how to drink water from a water bottle, or how to sit like an alpha chud, or whatever. And I was thinking, I have this pink water bottle, and it kind of looks phallic shaped. And I was like, what if some big strong guy had no other water bottle but this one, and he had to drink out of it? How would he drink out of it? Does anyone want to talk about this at all? What would he do with this? Would he interact with this? He has to chug it. I'm going to write that down. Damn blank paper, there it is. Okay, chug it. He scoffs. Where'd I put my damn pen? Yes, that's a good idea. You know what, actually? Okay, put the microphone down for a second. Okay, we got. Can you guys see that all right? Should I make that larger? The text? Tell me when. Oh, what the heck? Why did it just go away? That was weird. What in the world is going on? Y'all saw that. It just went away. I don't know why it did that. Okay, whatever, it's back. Okay, good. And it can be like anything. And I'm even thinking like, okay, so I don't know if this comes from like my gender queerness or whatever, but I always like to mix things up all the time. Like if I'm with a group of guys, I'm like, let's get them girls or whatever. You know, like if I'm with a group of girls, I'm like, let's get them gentlemen. You know, I don't know. I don't know what that has to do with anything with this, but it's like maybe we could get women to teach men how to drink water properly. You know, I don't know. And okay, so like the way so what we're gonna do in like a little while is if anyone is interested in doing this, I set up, so I'm a broke guy, I'm a broke artist, and so I always kind of like work within my means, and that's a part of like all of this is working within my means. And so I brought my little point and click camera there, and I brought a little sheet, a blue sheet, and we can use that as a green screen. And what the folks over there in video have done is they've set up like basically it's like a Getty Images picture of like a guy walking into a shower in the gym locker room, and we can use that as the background for when we're telling men how to drink water properly. Yay. So I might add something here. Homo erotic unaware. So he's like almost licking it and like letting some of it like fall into his mouth. It's on the side of his mouth. Homoerotic, unaware, very, what should I say? Very, I don't know, wet. So those are some great ideas we can like work with, and we can also, and a great thing, so one thing I like to do, I'll just share this right now, I'm a total pothead, and I love smoking weed, and whenever I come up with like a dumb idea that just makes me laugh, I write it the fuck down. And then when I'm sober later, I like add to it, and I add to it, and I add to it. And that's where a lot of like my ideas come from, not a lot, but well, a lot, is I'm just smoking some weed, and I'm just like, oh my God, what a dumb idea, and I write it down, and I like suggest everyone, and that goes like, for the absurdity, because like weed can make you have absurd thoughts that you don't have when you're sober. And so like, fuck man, if you guys want to make some media, just get high and write shit down. Like all of the ideas just come out, and weird stuff that you wouldn't normally think. And I think that's a great tool for making art, is smoking weed. Unless you're allergic, don't smoke weed if you're allergic. So I guess we could like talk about production design on a budget, y'all. And I'm going to walk around while I do it because I have ADHD and I've been sitting this whole time, so hips. So like, yeah, I'm broke, and like I said, I use just that camera with that tripod. It like kind of just works perfect. The biggest thing with production and making something is to remember to work within your means. I think that's like the one thing a lot of folks that like want to do media, when they start off, they're always going to have a project it's larger than they can handle. I've done it myself, but I'm at a point now where I've learned how to work within my means, and everything I write, I make sure it's something I can do at home, and it costs me no money at all, other than electricity. But that's like one of the most important things. Always make sure whatever you're writing is within your means, within the means of you and your group, what you guys are able to come up with on your own to produce. And another really important thing that is often overlooked is just the production design itself. Like, I'm broke as shit, but I try to make sure like that my production design is good enough that I can still put this somewhere and someone will want to watch it. And what I was able to do so far is get my shit on public media networks out in Kalamazoo, Michigan, all the Southwest Michigan area. So I officially was able to get that on. And a part of it is because I was able to like, the big thing about production design is writing tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of lists. Like, you gotta live by the list. Make the list, live by the list, to the T. Everything you wanna do, list it, do it, and then there's gonna be another list you're gonna make, and you just keep making those lists until every little single event and item is checked off. And it makes it so much easier when you list stuff. It makes it so much easier for organization and prioritizing what you want to do first, how you want to set up your shots, because you're not always going to set up your shots in the same order that they show up at the final edit too. So just if anyone is interested in that stuff, I implore, always make production lists. It always helps your production design value, and it counts in the end product. What else? So like with like lighting and stuff, I just use like small conical lamps that I can like unplug and like move around. And I put one like has like a vitamin D lamp in it, or vitamin D light, I mean. And it like vitamin D lights are kind of nice because they're like kind of just pale white, but they're also diffused. They're more diffused than most lights. So it like adds a nice sort of like gentle lighting that is not sharp. And it's really cheap to do. It's like $6 or $7 for a vitamin D lamp. And then I also use just regular tungsten LED lights. Well, they're not tungsten, but they're like tungsten-like LED lights. They have like the nice warm yellow, and it's like I like to mix the warm yellow with the dissolved white, and they make kind of like a nice like shadow killing element on a budget. As far as like sound goes, 1 minute, I need to drink some water. While I was in college, I was lucky enough to be able to afford an what is it called? Interface, an audio interface that I can plug a microphone into, and I was able to like use my student loan money to get one of those, a Shure SM58, and I plug that into my audio interface, and that's how I'm able to get my audio. It's a little annoying because I'm doing everything by myself, and I'm trying to get some folks on board with me. I'm actually talking to several college professors to see if they want to like come in and do guest star stuff with me. But yeah, I do everything by myself, and like I said, it's a little difficult, but like I get the lights, the microphone, I make sure, know what kind of mic you're using and what its like polar pattern is. These ones have like a nice, I guess you'd call it a figure 8 polar pattern, so they pick up things really well right in front and kind of behind them, and that's how a lot of microphones are. So just always know your polar patterns with whichever microphone you're using, because it does matter, and it might not pick up sound very well if you're like this or something. And also, the only annoying thing about it is I have vents in my house. I live in an old Victorian house, and they have like a constant like vent circulation system going on, and there was like the wrong filter size in it when I was doing my first episode, recording it in May. So there's like parts where you hear just like in the background. That's kind of annoying, and that just happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. But then maintenance came over and they fixed it, and that was really cool. So the next episode won't have that sound. But yeah, lights, camera, cheap camera, set, just a basic blue sheet for all of my superimpositions that I do for backgrounds. And yeah, like it's just, like I said, it's just all about like what you have access to, where you can get all the things you need. Like, but that's all you really need is like just a couple lights, one microphone, one camera, something to make a green screen with, and that's what I roll with. And what else? Yeah. That's a great question. So I also was able to afford to purchase while I was going to school and using student loans. I was able to get on Apple. They had a really good deal. I don't know if they have it anymore, but it was a $200 student bundle that included Final Cut Pro, Logic, which is the audio editing software. That's what I use more than anything. I'm actually a musician more than anything, but Logic, I love Logic. And then it has Compressor, which is just like a professional compression app for like really large video files that you want to like compress down but still keep that same quality and value in them. What are the other two? Oh yeah, Main Stage, which is for live music production, and then I can't remember the other one, but it's for like special effects stuff. $200 for all 5. I hope that still is around because that was like the only way to really like get a good deal bundle. Then there's Adobe. I'm not too keen on Adobe because they use the subscription model for everything. So it's like you get all you want, but it's all online. You have to be online to use it, and it's like anywhere but at least $30 a month minimum. And I'm not a big fan of that. It's like if I'm going to buy the software, I want to have access to it at all times without needing the internet or anything. And kind of side tangent, but I don't know if anyone's like into audio engineering, but Avid is Pro Tools, and Pro Tools also does the subscription model, and it really pisses me off because I have Pro Tools on my computer and I can't fucking use it because it's subscription, and I have to buy my subscription. It's like $200 every year. Like fuck that. Reaper's amazing, actually. I've been meaning to like download that one, and then FL Studio is really cool too. I think it's only like $60. What's that? Which one? I haven't used it yet. I had a classmate though who used it. He really got into it. He did like 808s. I think they have like really good 808 sub basses on Reaper, and he was like going ham with that. But what else? There's a few others. DaVinci is free, I think. DaVinci video editor. Yep. And that one's pretty good. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. I need to kind of download that too myself. And then what's the other one? There's one more. There's Adobe, there's Logic or Apple. Yeah, I can't. There's another one. I can't remember it off the top of my head though. Go DaVinci. DaVinci is good on all, I think. And then also, for audio, a good free one. It's okay. So it's limited, but it's good. It's called Audacity, and it's a 2-channel audio mixer, and it has all of these great effects. It has all your EQ, your compression, all that stuff. But it's just 2 channels, so that's a little Yep. And if you need more stuff, you could just like add channel 2 to channel 1 and then add more to channel 2, then add that to channel 1. You just have to keep your levels going while you're doing it. But yeah, you can literally do anything on Audacity. You just have to be like savvy with it. They're good. A little bit, yeah. What can you explain Cubase a little bit actually? I know I like used it once, but I remember now. Cubase is what Pro Tools came from. Yes, I love doing that. Yeah, Cubase is like that's like the original one. That's cool that you mentioned that. What else? What time do we have? What's up? 808. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Okay, well, you know what? That's actually perfect timing. Does anyone want to do like fake manosphere stuff in front of this before I screen my thing? So we got this like bottle here, and we can like talk shit about drinking water and how men don't drink water right, and how we're teaching them how to drink water. This is just a cheapo camera. This is a cheapo. Nice. It's not a Canon. It's not a Canon Rebel. It's a Kodak Pix Pro. Did you want to do this? Sure. Hell yeah! Here's my water bottle, and you can like just talk shit about like dudes and stuff. Okay, let me make sure you're framed properly here. And call attention to any qualities of it that you'd like, and any thoughts that come to mind. I'm just going to let you like free flow that. Here, let me zoom in a little bit.
Are we acting out what we said?
Oh, hell yeah. Or whatever. Like, you just like grab that water bottle, anything that comes to mind. All right, are you ready? All right, I'm recording. And then, okay, so also I will be editing these. Actually, they're editing over there, so they're actually basically doing it all for us. And we're going to have like the gym background with like the naked guy walking into the shower behind you. Because we're all like super masked and like chuds and stuff. All right, where's my record button? There we go. Okay, you're recording. It's a water bottle, bro. It's my girlfriend's. I couldn't find mine. She took it, I think. Do you know how to use that? No, you're not doing it right, bro. You gotta get your mouth like way wide open when you take that chug, man.
Do you want me to? Yeah, I don't know. Do you want someone to help? Yeah, do you need help?
Do you want some help, bro? Chug, 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 chug. Fuck yeah, man. Look at you, an alpha Chad drinking water from his girlfriend's bottle. Hell yeah. God. See, you're gonna get all the poontang when you drink water the right way. Right, bros? Incorrect. All right, all right, hold up. Stop recording. Okay, there we go. Got it. Did anyone else want to do this? I guess. You're a brave individual. Thank you. And you guys, I should have said you don't have to drink the water, but you did. You took the gulp. I support you and I salute you.
I'm not gonna drink the water, but I have something in my mind if somebody could assist me.
Could we get one assistant?
What is? All it is maybe stand out of frame, and I'm gonna like act like I'm on like a jog, and then when I get up, like hand it to you. Hand it to me. I'm gonna be like a champion or something.
All right, let me know when y'all are ready.
Wait, so am I just gonna come from this angle?
All right. What's that? Yes. You ready? All right. Rolling.
Hell yeah, man.
Chug it, bro. Fuck yeah, chug it. That is the perfect pose for drinking water. Look at how they violently grab onto the water bottle. Thank you. All right, we did it. Anyone else wanted to go with my weird water bottle? If not, I will turn this off. Thank you guys so much. When I recorded, so they're already like doing like an edit back there, and it's basically already done. I was gonna take it home and edit it, but they're doing it there. So are you guys okay with being on that? And if I put it on YouTube in the future? And I will tag Subversion Summer Camp in it, so like you guys will be able to find it there, since I don't know everyone's names. Okay, well I guess then we will go ahead and screen Perfect Pancakes, my show. Hey look, copyright Hollyland. My name's Holland. That's almost my name. Y'all are great. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. I appreciate it. On to Pancake Land. So the reason I started this and called it Perfect Pancakes is because I have this like, I don't know if you'd call it an obsession. What am I? But hold on, sorry. Time obsessed. Is it 8:39? Holy shit. I'm not used to being in Central Time. I'm Eastern Time in Michigan. But yeah, so like I said, I don't know if it's like an obsession or something, but like I have this like sort of like ritual where I like learn how to make a pancake the way they come out in diners. Like, fuck the police. What the fuck's going on out there? Yeah, I like making pancakes and I like making them look perfect, like they came from a diner and they taste like they came from a diner. Like I'm all about like the whole experience of having a pancake exactly how I want it. So I went through like a series of like just making huge stacks of pancakes at home and making like compote, and then I started making like waffles and then yeasted waffles and then corn cakes. They're also called Johnny cakes, but like I don't know. I just have a pancake obsession. It's been this way my whole life, and so that's why I called my show Perfect Pancakes. And it's kind of inspired by that show I keep calling On Cinema at the Cinema, the movie show that's not about a movie show. That was kind of like how I was inspired to make this. It's a show about breakfast that has almost nothing to do with breakfast. And this is me, kill your idols. That's Titus. His name is Shithead because he's a blitzball douche. I love him though. Where is it? There it is. Oh, no, don't do that yet. Don't do that yet. Okay. Are you ready, guys? Perfect Pancakes world premiere. Here we go. We're making comedy illegal again. How dare you? Don't say that. I'm Mr. Yeast, and this is Perfect Pancakes. Today, we're talking about berries. Berries come from all over the planet. Berries are omnivorous plants.
Strawberries aren't even real fruits, nor are they real plants. Scientists haven't been able to determine why they're here.
And that's the way it's always been.
The succulent texture of blackberry jam is treasured the world over. Blackberries are made from 100% organic, all-natural juice, 100% all-natural organic sugar, and 100% vegan organic cellulose. Raspberries are really small fruits inside of larger fruits.
They're the symbol of never-ending fun spirals.
I bet you always wondered why blue electric lemonade is so good. It's because of blueberries.
And blue raspberries. And that's all the blueberries of the world. Strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. Those are all of the berries of the world. Except for lingonberries. Guys, we gotta talk. And I mean just
The guys.
no woman should hear what I have to say right now, except for Roseanne Barr. Are all of the women and children safe? Okay.
Fellas,
We've got to talk about the race war. As we all know, QAnon, MAGA, and the Proud Boys have been tying themselves to crucifixes with their sad boyfriends as help and lighting themselves on fire, burning to death as a symbol that they're getting more mad about stuff and that they're thinking about the race war. The race war began over lingonberries. 100 years ago, this guy named John Smith was really pissed. He walked into the diner one day and John saw all of the different jellies at the table caddies, and he felt the deepest pangs of rage at what he saw. John hated lemon butter, apple butter, strawberry jam, and grape jelly, berry preserves, peach preserves. John was like, where I come from, everybody where I come from eats a lingonberry jam, so why are you guys all, so why aren't any of you eating blueberry, or why aren't any of you eating lingonberry jam for, huh? And everyone else was like, huh? Huh? And John got so mad at the pancake restaurant he was at. He was like, hey, what's with all this, jelly business? He got so mad he couldn't even conceive. He couldn't conceive there being a world where there was other fruit-based condiments that people put on top of their food. John had a total freak out, and he thought he was being eaten by a rainbow. So they say. So they say. So he decided that the only thing left he had to do in his life was set himself on fire in the pancake house, and so that's what he did. He set himself on fire, and everyone escaped, and he died mad about the blueberry jams and apple butters. And then there were like this other group of guys that were like, oh, look what they did to him. And so they became martyrs, I guess. And that's why there was a race war.
The race war. It was the race war. It was the race war.
It was because of lingonberries. That's why there was a race war. And that's why there aren't any more lingonberries left in the world. They don't exist anymore. They all died. There's no more lingonberries left. They're gone. Hey guys, this is Mr. Yeast, and today we're going to be making our very own berry compote. It's an easy and delicious way to top our perfect pancakes, and I'll show you how to do it right now.
Compote might sound exotic, but it's really easy to make with ingredients you already have or can easily access. For this recipe, we're using strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries.
Which are all of the berries in the world.
Next, we'll add a sprinkling of sugar and just a skosh of starch. You can use any starch you like, unless you're Stan Marsh. A skosh of starch. Say that 10 times fast. A skosh of starch, 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 a skosh of starch. Let's talk about masturbation. Let's talk about masturbation, or maceration. Let's talk about maceration. Maceration is the process of making your berries very juicy, and you really gotta shake them. Just shake them. It'll be juicier than the world has ever seen, or the world has ever known. 1 skosh of starch, 3 skosh, 4 skosh of starch, 5 skosh, 6 skosh of 7 skosh, 8 skosh, 9 skosh, 10 skosh of starch. Yeast, or starch. You don't want that much starch in your compote. You don't want 10 skoshes of starch in the compote, or else if you want to put that much starch into a strawberry, well, it's gonna turn into a chocolate bar. Our compote is nearly complete, except for one key step. Listen. I'm gonna be real with you, and I know you already know what I'm gonna say, because you obviously know where this is going. It's been obvious this whole time. You know what this is all about. It's about the strawberries. If you serve me a strawberry, a whole cooked strawberry, I'll cut you.
Yeah, I'll cut you right in the back. You knew it was gonna happen. You knew!
And they were like screaming shit back to me. It was really fun.
How could? If you give me a whole cooked strawberry with its dead animal body texture, have you ever sunk your teeth into a dead mouse before? Or how about a whole cooked apple? Or large pieces of a whole cooked apple? Perhaps in a twisted, disgusting pie? Might as well be a dead mouse or a dead... Because that's what cooked strawberry and apple... They'll never find you. They'll never find you. They'll never find you! They'll never fucking find you, you monster! They'll never fucking find you! Go ahead and puree those strawberries, but you want to leave the blackberries and blueberries as they are. There'd be such a shame of a complementary texture to not have in your compote. And last but not least, you want to add just a little...
To be a fool in front of the camera.
Coming up, the world premiere of her new music video and my exclusive interview with United States Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. Right after this.
Creíste que había muerto, pero te engaño al quedarse quieto durante 10 años hasta que finalmente nadie lo notó. El sábado gigante ha vuelto.
A ti te encantará el nuevo sábado gigante, y a toda tu familia y a todos tus amigos también. Soy yo, tu mejor amiga Rosario Murillo. Cuando
She's the dictator of, oh God, what is it? Nicaragua.
experimenté un golpe espiritual anoche durante mis lecturas de cristales, me di cuenta de que Dios me eligió para revivir el sábado gigante como siempre estuvo destinado a ser, a mi imagen. Estoy haciendo sábado gigante, gran otra vez. Sábado gigante, ahora podrás volver a reír. La comedia finalmente vuelve a ser legal. Gracias a tu diosa madre. Gracias. Soy la diosa.
In begin with a look at the tulips, of course. Tulip time just got underway, as we heard from Adriana a few minutes ago. And thankfully, the weather's been pretty cooperative for them to bloom right around the time tulip time has started. You can tell people can move these cameras from the city of Holland around. So we got at least a brief glimpse of the tulip.
Strains and where to get them. I'd like to welcome today's guest, United States Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. Hey Kristi, it's good to have you. Thanks. Can you believe I got an interview with you before The Daily Show? Like, to me, that just says the mainstream media really doesn't care about what's really going on and how I have a go-getter attitude.
No, you don't want that.
I don't want what?
You don't want a go-getter attitude. They'll see that and grind you to a pulp boy. No, you don't want that.
Has anyone ever called you Crispy Kristi before?
Listen, boy. I'm gonna bring my guys down and shut down the shops. You hear me? We're gonna shut business down.
Wow, that sounds great. It sounds like it really fits into the larger national,
You know what really bugs me about all this, though? No thank yous. None. Not one.
Aw, I'm so sorry to hear. That's so awful. You got the big presidential award for doing the most things as fast as you did.
Yeah. But nothing can replace a genuine human connection, no matter how small or finite, you know? Like, not one of those children that I locked into a kennel thanked me. I mean, I'm not asking for much here. I did that for them. What kind of people live in this country? It's like some of those children in those kennels died before they ever thanked me, which they had plentiful amounts of time to do.
I think we need to triple down the deportations of the elderly and the children.
Let me ask you, do you have a favorite berry or berry-based recipe?
This is one of those lesbian shows, isn't it? Huh.
I'm not a lesbian, for the record. But thank you. I take that as a compliment.
Oh, okay. For a second there, I thought you were a homosexual coming on to me with some sort of radical, sexual, gay, magical, gothic, dark agenda. So sorry.
I understand dark MAGA is good and pure and the light and everything else is bad, but are you getting enough sleep?
With all the responsibilities of the nation on my plate all the time, I've been drinking. Lots of Monster Energy. Secret agent man, yeah.
Favorite berry? So, you have a new single hitting the charts. It's no surprise, but the mainstream media is definitely sleeping on this one. Suspicious. You know, it's probably because they're also jealous of me hosting the world premiere of your new music video in just a little bit. But can you tell us a few things about this music career you're just absolutely dominating while you're also occupied with our national security?
Absolutely. You know, it's really great having a platform to bring the youth into the culture. I invented rapping and hip-hop, and a lot of people are catching on and admiring the work I've done and telling me how great I am.
Tell us a little bit about your collaborators, the Dwimpleton twins, because I think it's really interesting how you kind of fell into their universe and sort of took over.
Couple of our victims, I mean detainees, were the underground DJ group, the Dwimpleton twins. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I don't let my husband know I secretly listen to them with the girl in the group being a Muslim and all, but I couldn't believe it. And so after holding them in detainment for 3 weeks, we were able to determine their citizenships. We are still seeking to revoke their citizenship, but I decided, wouldn't it be cool mom vibes of me to start interacting with the white English-speaking prisoners? And now I hold their balls in my hands.
And I'm really excited for us. I know America and the whole world are gonna love everything we come up with.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't want to hold anyone waiting any longer for this. Thanks for stopping by to chat with us, Christy. I hope we have you over more often. Thanks everyone for tuning into Perfect Pancakes. I'm Mr. Yeast, and we'll see you next week where we discuss and analyze sex. This is the Dwimpleton Twins featuring Christy Nome. Take it away.
These pancakes taste like nut.
It's all that baking soda.
These pancakes taste like nut.
I eat them with bananas.
These pancakes taste like nut.
It must be the baking powder.
These pancakes taste like
I think they're sheep in the pancake batter.
These pancakes taste like nut.
Did a man come in these pancakes?
These pancakes taste like nut.
There must be too much baking soda.
Pancakes taste like shit.
Did someone shoot in the pancake batter?
Why do these pancakes taste like nut?
Why do these pancakes taste like
Nut. Shit.
This coffee tastes like
Nut. These pancakes taste like nut.
this coffee tastes like
These pancakes taste like shit.
this coffee must be
Blood. These pancakes must be shit.
Why
Why
must
does everything be shit? Why does everything be blood?
Check. So yeah, that's Perfect Pancakes. I made that with $0. I spent a month on it all by myself, and it's just my project that I'm happy to share with you guys. And I always encourage people, like, if you want to do media or whatever, you just should fucking do it. Like, smoke some weed, come up with ideas, brainstorm them more, get all your materials together, and follow a production list to get every single shot, every single thing you could think of that you want, and you just edit it all together and get that free DaVinci editor. So that's, yeah, absolutely. And that's all I really have. Oh, looks like Michigan severe weather right now. I'm glad I'm not in Michigan because, you know, tornadoes are like to hit Kalamazoo all the time. But I guess in leaving and closing, if I could just offer one more thing to everyone. I'm a part of a group called Sons of Liberty. I'm kind of a part of their media team. I'm not really doing anything right now, but like that'll probably change soon because I do a lot of like AI generative video stuff. I hate AI, but like I like using the tool that our fascist government is trying to use to control us to, like, you know, speak my own narrative and not let them speak what my narrative should be. I'm not going to let them tell me trans people can't be a part of my community. I'm not going to let them do bisexual erasure. I'm not going to let them, like, no, you're not a part of my community. You do not determine who is in my community. And we have built this community ourselves without your help. Stay the fuck out. Leave trans people alone. Leave us alone. But anyways, yeah, Sons of Liberty, they're very inclusive. Basically, they're a group of veterans, and we're kind of keeping an eye on what's going on. And if you guys feel like you need an extra group to like talk to people or whatever, you know, Sons of Liberty is there. They're Family of Liberty. I mean, the original name was Sons of Liberty, but it's Family of Liberty. So, yeah, any questions or comments at all from the audience? Yes. Talk about him really quick. That sounds very familiar. He worked with, what was her name? Jennifer, or Miranda July. He worked with her, right?
Yeah, but Ryan Trey Carton. Oh yeah, just Ryan Trey Carton doing like early days video collage work, like really psychedelic, but like very subversive, like
very
pro-gay, anti-fascist, pro like, yeah, free, open source media.
I need to look at more of him. Two of my professors specifically told me to watch more of his stuff. I saw like one of his pieces, and it was very intense. It was incredibly intense. It was him and Miranda July did it together. She's also another collage artist, video collage artist. She's wild too. Like she does a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah. Wait, what's her name? Sorry.
Miranda July.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my two of my professors, my video professors, they were just like, Holland, fucking watch these two right now, and you remind me. So yeah.
Yeah,
you know
your stuff reminded me a lot of Ryan Trey Carton, and then I was thinking with your discussion about Z-Way, just her format. She's more polished for sure, but I just appreciate the way that she writes. I think she's brilliant. I don't know. I was curious about what your thoughts were about like that format and that kind of.
Well, I love it. I mean, I love it because, like, first of all, it's like I'm only working with what I got, and I think that's how they kind of started too. But they just kept with it. And there's another, like, I kind of mentioned him earlier a little bit, but like Tim Heidecker and Eric Wareheim, they were originally inspired by like New York City public access television, which was like a wild world back in like the 90s. And God, I wish I was like there for it, but. And a lot of their stuff, it's very low budget, and it's just like, like Ryan Trey Carton, Miranda July, others, very low budget, but like good production value, good enough that like it makes a consistent, seamless like scene or whatever. I love that stuff. I absolutely love it. And I wish there was like more media like that, and I'm hoping more people make media like that.
Yeah. I think it all.
Oh, no, go on. Sorry, no. What were we gonna say? Agreed. I love collaging, like all that stuff. Like if you're doing like on a medium, a flat medium, 2D medium, like I just love that stuff. But anyways, thank you.
Yeah, simple question first. So what's the name again? Because I was searching on Sense of Liberty and I don't know where to find it.
Oh, it's on YouTube. Let me. Here. Are you talking about my stuff or Ryan Trey Carton?
Both. I was trying to catch up.
Here, let me. So this is my main channel, Kill Your Idols, or Kill Your Idols. Everyone calls me Killy, so I just go with that.
Okay, see. Wait,
And then I'll bring up Ryan Trey Carton here in a second. And I have like a lot of like dumb little videos I make on it that I kind of just randomly sometimes put together. Actually, I have a few I need to upload soon. It's been a while since I've uploaded anything.
Let me see.
Am I spelling that right? Yeah, I think so.
My sight is so
Oh,
bad.
sorry. Hold on. There.
Cool. Yeah, follow your channel, but.
And then here, let's see here. I don't know if he actually has a channel, but Ryan Trey Carton just does, like she was saying, like, what's your name? Rose. Like Rose was saying, like he does a lot of like just out there kind of like video graphic media. He did one with Aubrey Plaza. I didn't know that. I said he did one with Aubrey Plaza. I didn't know that.
Okay, I got it.
Oh yeah, that's wild. I didn't know that either. It's been a long time. I don't know. I like got into this a really long time ago. I'm a little bit older, like middle age.
I hear you. we getting old as fuck. I hear you.
But yeah. No, I liked your slides in the beginning too, and I was thinking about what you were talking about in the very first slide about analyzing films with a Soviet montage. And like, I kind of wanted to hear you elaborate a little bit more about analyzing, because I know in film speak, it's like the beginning of analyzing like light in a shot, meaning and stuff. But I think that's like huge for sure to just expand on, because a lot of people, like we have these like easy.
Have a good night. Thank you for stopping by.
Oh yeah, we have like these really like user-friendly tools now, and those. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just like was curious when you said that. I was like, wait, what do you mean?
No, like it's fascinating, like what they were doing in Soviet like the beginning of the Soviet Union and how they were like approaching film, because they approached it like no other like society did. They had very little film, and they took great care of what film they did have. And yeah, when I say like they analyze it, what they did, they would like completely unroll a huge roll of film, or unravel it, I mean, and they would like slice it up. They would just slice and I don't even know like where they chose, but it's like each cut, each fade to black, each like still shot, that's like they would analyze every little detail, every single element, every parameter they could get out of it. Like it's absolutely fascinating. They took an art form and made it very like weirdly scientific and very like kind of like savvy in how they went about it. It's just totally different. Yeah, and that's how they came up with that montage style, is because like I said, they were originally just taking two like disparate images, putting them together, and like seeing how it would affect people and society at large. And they just got like these Soviet filmmakers got really good at creating meaning through what little they could like show for meaning, and like, how do I word this? Like just symbolically, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a bowl of soup can mean 3 different things, or like a baby sleeping could mean 3 different things, or just like really anything. And you just like keep going back and forth between like this image and like a guy looking angry or sad or happy or whatever. And that was like one of the basic ones they started with. I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head. But yeah, and they would just take like different films, like I said, and like just put it together like pre-made films and like create whole new meanings with them. And then eventually they did get their own film stocks and nationalize the film industry. And I'm kind of like drawing on distant memories of classes, but I think what they did was they used the train system. They had just made this train system, cross Trans-Siberia train system, and they used that to get films all over the country so that everyone could see stuff, everyone could be caught up, everyone could get the news, because that was also how people got their news back then. But yeah, like it's just fascinating how they got from like montaging to creating these films like Battleship Potemkin that have like such like social like importance, like showing like this is how we were killed innocently and this is how we overcame that and fought back. Oh, yeah, Soviet montage is it's some cool shit. I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. I think that's really interesting about just the time period, the social climate of like analyzing each individual thing, and then someone's in charge of creatively putting the things next to each other, and then letting the public create their meaning with it.
But it's like it's made in such a way that most of the public they all gain the same meaning from it. They all like their heart is affected a certain way, their mind is affected a certain way, and that's very much the point of like the filmmaker themselves.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And a fun one is Man with a Movie Camera. It's kind of like a more simple, short Soviet montage film, but it basically includes every little painstaking detail they use to create those things. And they made some really fascinating stuff doing superimposition. And that is hard to do with film back in the day, and they did it really well. But yeah, Man with a Movie, good stuff.
My Man with the Movie.
Man with a Movie Camera.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
Sorry, who's the Brandon person? The Brandon, I didn't catch your last name.
Oh, Holland. I'm Holland.
How, okay.
Oh, wait, are you talking about Ryan Trey Carton?
Brandon Holland, you said?
Holland? Oh, okay.
Brandon?
Who's Brandon? I don't know who Brandon
The
is.
person you guys were talking about earlier?
Oh yeah, it's written right there, Ryan.
Yep, Ryan.
Okay, I totally catch it.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Yep, Ryan Trey Carton. Here, I'll try and zoom in a little bit so you can see a little better if you want to take a picture of it or whatever. I'm going to go hard on that, too. I'm going to go hard on that, too.
Which is fucking important.
Well, we're about to lose these. Yeah, we're about to lose, like, we're losing our freedom of speech. And, like, the fact that, like, Kristi Noem specifically is trying to get this bill passed. She's trying to go after me. I don't know. But, like, they're trying to make it so that, like, we can't make any more AI anything that has to do with any real person. Like, they're trying to turn that into law soon. So, basically, what I'm doing is about to be, like, illegal. Like, it's just, it drives me crazy. It's like... Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. 100,000,000%. Like, we have to fight back hard. Like, one of the things is, like, I know we're kind of going over time, guys. Sorry. But, like, one of those things is, like, how do we gain the cultural conversation? How do we, like, own this and dominate it? Because, like, why the fuck are these, like, Nazi bitches owning and dominating a cultural conversation that has nothing to do with them? How the fuck do we get that? Like, I don't know. I'm just like asking the audience here. Like, does anyone have any ideas? Have we ever thought about that? Like, what do we do to, like, because all I can think of is, like, keep making absurdist shit that you turn it all up to 11, show how fucking wild these people are, but it doesn't seem to be catching on. Like, because it's like, like I said, I'm a part of Sons of Liberty. We have, like, a team. We're releasing stuff. There's another group I'm a part of called Dark Brandon doing the same thing, actually, I think.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about this, but I feel like I need more content. I was thinking of working about political stuff a lot too, but I don't know, like, how to win the fight. But what do you mean? Like, what's the definition of winning? And
That's a good question.
yeah, and also, personally, I feel like, I'm very based on. I'm very based on, like, communism theory so far. I'm thinking, like, considering about anarchism as well. But the thing is, I am still, like, personally, I am in the system, and I'm educated. I am elevated by their system. That's why my opinion only carries a part of it. But there's no working class voice being heard, and so
Boom, right
yeah.
there. Say that again, because that is so fact.
There's no working class voice being heard. In case of art and literature, this is just very few. And yeah, I was kind of thinking for a while, like, how do you curate a thing that can gather the voice of the working class, and not just us. I feel trapped, like, in the art sphere.
Yeah, I don't think I could have put it more better than that. Like, the fact that you say you feel trapped. And that's kind of how I feel too. I don't know what to do because there's no marketing for us. That's what we need is marketing. Marketing costs a lot of money. Marketing is very limited for folks who make millions and millions of dollars already. Because right now, the way all these industries work is they pick and choose and curate who they want from TikTok, who they know is going to make, like, the most money, who they know is going to get the most listens by the largest audience, and that just isn't us, you know. And I don't know what to do about that. I think it's going to require some sort of revolutionary action for us to have our voices out there and be competitive with, you know, all these psychotic, rich, white supremacist, MAGA, Nazi lovers, you know, like.
Wait.
Yep. That is super correct, yeah. That is correct, yep. If you find that patron, you're good to go. And that's why we have, like, Patreon, and it's great, but it's like, I don't know how much longer this is going to last because, you know, everyone's losing their jobs. Like, okay, so personally, I can't even find a job. I've been unemployed for, like, 7 months now, and I only recently learned. So I'm a survivor of police brutality in 2021, shortly after January 6th. This psychotic cop pulled me over for driving home from work. I hate saying this, but he literally tried to George Floyd me, but he did one thing wrong. He stuck his hands in my mouth, and so I bit down as hard as I could, and I got arrested and put in jail. As an honors student with a near perfect GPA, I got put in jail for defending myself and saving my own life. So now I have a violent criminal record. I only just recently learned about that. I'm like, this is still on my record because he got fired. He got fired for attacking like 12 other people, and there's actually an article I have saved on him. But yeah, I can't find a job because of that. Like, no one wants to hire me. They think I'm like this super violent person or whatever. So I'm considering suing the state of Michigan. But it's just like, even then, like, everyone's losing their jobs. And like, where do we put our patrons when most of the people now who have all the money are MAGA people? Like, because all the money is being concentrated right now.
I was thinking of about the question that because like one's being jailed or anything and just couldn't find a job, that's a problem that I think the activists around what's it called abolishment and people who work around jail were trying to work around. And also, I feel like I heard there's volunteers or workshops that are like people that's trying to help with, people that come out from jail and find a job. I feel that's a part. And like responding to the earlier question that, like how do we fight back as artists in this scenario? I was thinking of what comes to my mind is I was thinking of the Writers Guild for Gaza and National Writer Union, Artists Union, etc. I just like recently realized that artists and writers, creators are kind of job too. So that means we can be unionized, and together we can probably make some voice being heard. But yeah, that's like theoretical. I'm trying to figure out
No, you're
too.
good.
Yeah.
It is definitely a jungle, and it's hard to navigate. Go every day. I'm trying to just go every day, one step at a time, and trying to figure out how to navigate it. It is difficult. It is difficult because we are not really it's like we're given tools, but we're not told how to use them, or we're only given so many tools, and yeah.
What kind of tool do you mean?
Anything really. Me with video creation, like I have my computer, I have my editing suite, I have my cameras, my lights, my weird little backdrop there, and that's all the tools I have. What I don't have is like the marketing savviness. I don't have like the industry networking savviness. I don't have money like that I could make all these things happen with. And I think that's what a lot of folks, that's what a lot of us are dealing with, is we just don't have the money to get the resources we need to actually do the work and do it like professionals. Like I'm at the point where I'm like, hey, I'm a professional. I have 3 fucking degrees. Where the fuck do I find some fucking work, man?
Oh, that's so real. Like, I feel like, especially with the digital landscape, I feel like you made a really great show, and this is really awesome content, and it's not getting the attention that it deserves. It's kind of
I don't even got 100 likes yet, or 100 views yet.
Yeah,
it's been up for 2 months now, guys. Come on.
I
have other videos that have 500 views. That's still not much. That's nothing on YouTube. But I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Watch my one show, everybody. It's hard, and it's just I am one person, and I am accepting again, it's just day by day. I'm doing everything I can day by day. Sometimes I just have to take care of myself, and there's nothing I can do but take care of myself. But when I can, I try and get on Discord or whatever, and some people who know me, I'm like, hey, check this out, blah, blah, blah. On Sons of Liberty, I'm trying to get them to watch my damn AI things because they're getting on one about AI. I'm like, well, I make AI, so make an AI account that we can all do stuff on. What I've been bothering them about is we just need a group AI account that is paid for, so we don't have to use 9 million emails to make these generative videos with for all the free demos. But yeah, I guess we should. Is there any other questions? I suppose we should wrap it up. We're about a half an hour past time, but I'm loving y'all. I'm glad that we did this today. I'm glad that I made it out here to Chicago to be a part of Subversion Summer Camp, and I hope everyone's having a great time. I need to come check out some stuff that's going on. I'm kind of a stranger, but I'm really happy this is happening. And thank you, Subversion Summer Camp, and thank you, folks at Lumpen Radio and live streaming. Thank you. I'm going to shut my microphone off now. Love y'all.